All right, I will call the Environmental Sustainability Policy Advisory Committee to order. Clerk, has the roll been taken?
Yes.
Go over a few of the rules, the procedures. To begin, this meeting is held in a hybrid format in accordance with the electronic participation policy for virtual meetings. The full corporate policy 050 regarding electronic virtual meetings is available online for review. Staff and delegates are reminded to keep their video and microphones off until requested by the chair or the members of the committee. All cameras for the committee members shall remain on to ensure quorum. Members of the committee shall indicate they wish to speak by physically raising their hand. Members who are present in person will be given an opportunity to speak first, followed by virtual participants. All members of the committee will vote by a physical show of hands. Please leave your hand raised until the chair has determined the result of the vote. In the event of connection or service interruption occurs that affects quorum, we may recess for up to 15 minutes to regain quorum. If quorum is not achieved, the meeting will be adjourned. All rules for the delegations under the city's procedural bylaws continue to apply. So, first of all, are there any declarations of conflict of interest for anything on tonight's agenda? Not seeing any. We have no presentations, no delegations. So we have item for consideration. We do have Selby here with something that's not on the agenda, but they'd like to go over the green bin program, and I'd like to let them have that opportunity as long as nobody objects to it. All right, Selby.
Okay. Thank you, Chair, and members of council. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Okay, good.
I can't hear. Just say next slide whenever you want.
Good evening, everyone. We're here to present the green bin program details. You've already seen the report we sent you. It has a lot of the details, but we thought presentation would be a way that quickly, grasp the information and give you a little more details and kind of guide if there's any conversation on the green bin program. So just start off with, we're very excited to bring the green bin program to our residents. The program, or the green bin material collection, starts on November 1st. So the reason for the green bin program, mainly, the reason why we need to do the green bin program is to extend the life of our street landfill so that the landfill is available for future generations. It is a precious resource, and you heard it from many other municipalities that very limited or no landfill space available. But we're lucky to have landfill still here, and we want to kind of extend its life for future generations. And the other reason is that the organics do contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. There are more information coming in the other slides. So that's the other reason why we need to separately collect the organics material. So our council has passed the vision for the solid waste program. And the vision is to reach an ultimate goal of zero waste, but an interim goal of reaching 70% diversion by 2050. What do I mean by diversion? We produce so much waste, and trying to make sure we reuse that material or repurpose that material and not to throw it at the land. So that's what we call it as waste diversion. Right now, the city has a recycling program and yard waste collection processing program. And together, through these programs, we divert about 34% of our waste. Our goal is to get up to 70% by 2050. And organic waste diversion is very critical. We need to remove organics from garbage, and so that is going to at a considerable diversion rate towards it. Next slide. So once we start the program, here it kind of explains the benefits. When we start the program, we may have like 4,000 tons. It's really, we have to wait and see. But overall, we expect at least 8,000 tons of organic waste because the full participation of our residents. And also the material that's collected, that's the organics, is converted to compost material, which can be used. By diverting organics away from the landfill, we reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 38%. Next slide. So the program is being rolled out in 2 phases. Phase 1 is really majority of the residents who are going to be part of phase 1. That's all residential homes, quasi-residential, pretty much the ones that get the municipal collection, and schools, city buildings, and BIA, and so on. It's almost like 35,500, if we say roughly, number of homes or residential units that are going to get the green bin program in 2023. There is a small number of multi-residential buildings that don't get CD collection at this time. So they have a private collector who comes and collects their waste material. So those properties have a contract with their private contractor. So there's a process where we need to understand their expiration date of their contract and also enter into an agreement with the city if we have to go on to private streets for collection and so on. So that program, we're going to be working with among the residential properties in 2024. There are no ICI, that means industrial, commercial, institutional locations, will get the green bin program except the downtown BIA. We are here with a green bin. Although the picture you could see, so part of the phase 1 program, when Derek is holding the bin, you can see it. So part of the phase 1 program will be, which is starting November 1st. So prior to November 1st starting, we'll distribute the bins, which is the green bin and the kitchen collector. Both the units will be distributed to the residents like a month before. So we're kind of targeting September 25 to October 20th to distribute the bins. And the bins will also have an information package to kind of say what this program is, how to participate in the program, what's acceptable, what material is not acceptable, all those details, and there they can find more information. There's also a QR code which they can scan, which takes it right to the website that gives all the information. And it also talks about Recycle Coach. So, that's again an app, Recycle Coach app, if you're not familiar with that. It's again an app that says when the collection is for that particular house, and then what's acceptable, not acceptable, more information. So the collection will be on their typical collection day. Instead of putting garbage and recycling only, now they'll set out green bin too at the same time. Next slide. So again, I'm kind of trying to explain how the program works. So the residents will separate the green bin or organic material and put it in a separate bin, the green bin that we distribute. And that bin is rolled out on the day of their collection will occur. And we'll have a collection contractor who will collect the organics separately along with the garbage and other materials that are collected by various contractors. And the material is brought to the landfill, and from the landfill, it is taken to a processing facility. So all 3 farms is the one who's got our contract. We issue the contract for a processing facility in Arthur. So they will be processing the organics and converting into a compost material. Next one. So So again, this is just to say that the key for our program success is the participation rate. We need to see the wins on the street. To do that, the city, we have well put together a very detailed public communication outreach program. So the communication outreach program, again, there is a considerable amount of dollars allocated. The program that includes not just social media, it also includes radio. Communications department is going to produce videos to explain to residents how to, what goes in, what doesn't go in, how to participate in the program. And also we have ward meetings and neighborhood meetings. And again, similar to ESFAC, we'll be going to downtown meetings and so on. So there are a lot of meetings to reach out to the public and as many as possible. And also we have the outreach program will start now. Right now, we're not bombarding the message, but we would really intensify the campaign close to the date, which is like September, October. And then once the program is rolled out in November, we'll tailor a different kind of a message. And that would go on until next March to increase the participation. Although there is an ongoing continuous education outreach, the focus more on the LinkedIn just before rollout and soon after rollout. Next slide. So here we wanted to show you the booth, booth that we have. As the slide shows, we are out there right now. Starting from June, we're at mall and golf courses, like grocery stores, restaurants, we talked to at least 2,000 residents so far, and we're hearing very positive message. And we'll be there at Canada Day. And we're also looking at other events at Harmony Square and to reach out to as many residents as possible. Next slide, please. So this is the last slide, just to show you how we can be reached through phone or email, visiting City Hall, or visiting Canada Day. There are many ways the residents can find out about the program. And if there are any concerns, they call the customer contact center. They also reach out to the residents at their home too, depending on the need. So there are multiple ways we're trying to reach out to the residents to make it easy for them to participate in the program. With that, thank you for the opportunity.
Do we have any questions from staff with regards to the presentation? Councilor Martin?
Thank you. So what's the cost for the company to take our materials?
Processing one? Close to Zillion is how much?
$100 a ton.
$100 a ton, like 8,000, close to 8,000 tons. Yeah, so that's.
What's the term of that contract?
27. So we're ending all contracts by 27. Councillor, I know where you're going. So yeah. That's the whole reason why we're ending in 27. That way we can see if it is possible for us to have our own processing facility. And depending on the timing and when we're able to have that ready, then we can switch to our own processing facility. So that's something we are doing.
Okay, and have you heard anything more from?
There's a back and forth. I just got an email today just before coming here. There's a back and forth conversation happening between IESO and us. Right now, we're in the exchange of information mode. So we still don't know exactly which direction we're going, but we are kind of gathering more information.
Okay.
I have one as well. Further to Councilor Martin. The 100 per ton, does that include the transportation of our materials from our landfill up to Arthur, or who's covering that cost?
There's a separate contractor for that.
Or now, are we paying that by the load, or are we paying that by the ton?
That by the load.
By the load? Okay. Great. No other questions? Do I have a mover and a seconder to put this on the floor?
Oh, there's a question.
Oh.
Is this for me? Thank you. I apologize in advance if this is repetitive. It was very, very difficult to hear the presentation, but thank you. Was the trial that was supposed to be happening downtown canceled? I was a little bit confused by the report because it did indicate that the green bin program was specifically for the downtown BIA. There was a bit of a wording issue there, or does this cover the entirety of Brantford?
This covers entire Brantford. Except a small group of multi-residential, and BIA is included in the incident.
Okay. Oh. Okay, thank you. Also, is the upgrades on the transfer station, or I guess putting the transfer station in, is that currently on time? And if that project is delayed, does that then mean that the green bin program itself is going to be delayed?
That's progressing very well. Shouldn't take much time for us. We'll be finishing that this summer.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Linda.
I'm sorry, but can I request that if you're speaking, can you direct your voice towards the microphone? It is really hard to hear when a person is not facing the microphone and speaking. It sounds like they're underwater.
Okay, that's been noted. So do we have a mover and a seconder to put this on the floor? Moved by Councillor Martin, seconded by Linda. All right, call the vote. Okay.
Was it not in there?
Oh no, it's terrible. My own brain. Never mind. I'm talking out loud. All right. So now 4.2, the uses for the SPAC budget. No, are we there yet? Yeah. SPAC budget financial impact $5,000. Are there any questions from staff regarding the report? Doesn't seem to be any questions. So do we have a mover and a seconder to put that on the floor? Moved by Councillor Martin. Seconded by Linda. Any discussion? Sure. Gagan, if you want to give us a rundown, then maybe it'll spark some questions.
Yeah, sorry, we're just going to give a rundown of the report because, as you'll note, one of the recommendations has some blanks left in there for members of the committee to fill out for us to decide how to use that budget. So we're just hoping for some direction from the committee on how to use that money so we can fill in those blanks and then take that direction from the committee forward to use that budget. So I'll leave it to Rebecca to give a rundown of the report and you can let us know if you have any questions. Linda, is this better for sound? It is? Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Bergen.
Talk to the owl.
So yeah, as Bergen mentioned at the last SPAC meeting, members discussed how to use their budget and requested to receive suggestions on how to use the budget. So the report outlines several ideas as well as estimated costs. So some of the ideas include purchasing trees to host a free residential tree giveaway to help the city increase the tree canopy, purchasing prizes for the community litter pickup events. There is a litter pickup event being planned for the fall. Another suggestion was purchasing a flag or branded supplies for promotion and education of environmental and climate initiatives at city and community events. Another idea was marketing the Green ER Awards. And another suggestion is just assisting the city with their climate change communication strategy. It's also not recommended to use the budget for promoting the green bin program because, as you saw with Selby's presentation, there is already a very extensive promotion campaign going on. And then, yeah, just as a friendly reminder, the budget is $5,000.
Do we have any questions now? I have one. If we were to use the funds towards trees, how many trees would we be able to get our hands on?
So based on the previous tree giveaway that we did back in the spring, I think they purchased 300 trees for $5,000.
Yes, so we would be able to get about 380 trees if the trees cost about $13 each.
Now, do we have a particular vendor that we purchase from, or do we source that out and try and find the best bang for our buck?
I believe they have a vendor that they would go through. It's under the $5,000. So what we would need to do is get an RFP or an RFP. So I do believe they have a vendor. Okay. And they do all native species for their trees. Okay, perfect.
All the questions I had. Oh, Taylor?
Quick question about the potential tree giveaway option. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the city currently has a tree giveaway program every year. Would us potentially using the funds for that program replace what the city already has, or would it be in addition to?
This can be in addition to, Taylor, through the chair. It can be in addition. The money we get is directed by council to increase our tree canopy, so that's something staff would be doing regardless. So potentially we could double the amount of trees we're giving away. And just for some insight in how popular this program is, usually within a day, all the trees are accounted for and taken by residents. So it's a very, very popular program, and people are seem to appreciate it. I think 2 years now going, and it's one of our most popular programs on Safety Street.
Thank you. I just have one more kind of question. If we were to proceed with potentially purchasing promotional materials for city events, which I think is a fabulous idea. I'd just like to make it known that as an environmental and sustainability committee, we probably shouldn't be advocating for giving away reusable items such as water bottles and totes. Those items often are extremely cheaply made. They're full of chemicals, and they're also not always the most ethical. So I just want to make that note that we probably shouldn't be supporting that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Taylor. So any suggestions or preferences that the committee members have, please share them with us, and then that's how we'll be using that. It's really up to you, and then we'll take that on.
Councilor Martin.
I move that we use the tree option as the for use of the budget.
Do I have a seconder for that? To use the funds for trees? Seconded by Linda. Any discussion on that? Taylor?
Hi, sorry, me again. I want to speak a little bit towards the other options and just kind of recap what we do as a committee. It's really great to have the trees available to the community, but is the community going to be aware that SPAC is involved? Is it going to help promote the work that we do and help promote environmentalism within the city? Personally, I would love to see the funds go towards more community-based events, and that would include purchasing promotional materials. I don't know, is there an opportunity to speak about all the other options and what they look like?
So I can maybe speak to it a little bit to the chair. We could, if the committee wants to split the cost, that I think would be fine as well. We can just account for that within the recommendation and say, for example, 3,000 of the 5,000 go for trees, and then 2,000 say for promotional. I do think 5,000 is a pretty extensive budget for promotional and events. So maybe if you want to split it up that way, that's something you can take back as well.
That's a great idea.
Would that be friendly, Greg?
Yes. Seconder agrees.
Nodding her head. Okay. Any further discussion on that?
Can I just clarify that? So we would be spending the $5,000 in total. 3,000 of it will be towards trees. 2,000 of it would be towards promotional materials.
That's correct. Environmentally friendly promotional materials. All right, I will call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, now on to, oh, go ahead, Andy.
Sorry, I did not vote neither for or against. I'd like to be noted as an abstention, please.
Okay.
Through the chair, I just wanted to note that when you don't vote, you're actually voting in the negative, but you're on record saying that it's in absentia.
4.3, calendar of city events, the financial impact. Staff talk to that?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. So at the last SPAC meeting, again, members brought up participating at city and community events to help educate and promote climate and environmental initiatives. So this report just provides a list of events that SPAC could get involved in to provide education and outreach. Some of the annual events that the city organizes include Santa Day, Scare in the Square, New Year's Eve, and Wheels on the Pavement, which is part of National Public Works Week. SPAC can also consider coordinating with private and nonprofit groups to set up a booth at some community events like the Jazz Festival, the Santa Claus Parade, the Brantford Air Show, and Crew Fest, just to name a few. And for any of these events, the committee could set up a booth and provide educational materials like pamphlets or the branded merchandise, environmental giveaways, or even interactive climate and environmental activities, anything like that. And members of the committee can also find a list of community events happening throughout the year on Brantford's website.
Are there any questions of staff? Taylor?
Just a couple of super quick questions. I just don't quite understand how this would work. What does the process look like for events? So, you know, as a community member, if I identified an event either through the city or publicly that I think would fit SPAC, what would the process look like to request that we attend that event? And would it need to be actually voted on? And can we also accept outside volunteers to help participate in that event as SPAC, or can it only be SPAC committee members?
I don't want to vote on it. No.
So I can try to take a stab at that, and maybe if the clerk has something to add, she can. But if there are any of these events that you would like to attend, I would say the best way is to reach out to the city through the clerk or directly to myself or Rebecca, and request a booth or a table at one of these events, and then we can coordinate it for them. Does that answer your question, Taylor? Sorry, I know there are a couple of things.
Yes, the second part of my question was, would we be able to allow outside volunteers to participate with us, whether they be students looking for hours or somebody who's in a high school eco club, just anybody, or maybe someone who's even interested in SPAC or is really passionate but isn't on the committee?
Yeah, I don't see any issues with that. They wouldn't be able to identify as being a committee member of SPAC. They would be a volunteer with SPAC.
Thank you.
Lee, I saw your hand up. Were you looking to speak?
It was the same question. Pretty much, I've had some high school students in the neighborhood ask if they would be able to volunteer for something like this to get their hours, and also a couple Mohawk and Conestoga students that are taking sustainability-based courses as well that we're hoping to get involved somehow voluntarily.
Awesome, thank you. So do we have a mover and a seconder to put this on the floor? Moved by Councillor Martin, seconded by Andy. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, call the vote. All those in favor? Motion carries. All right, now we have the minutes. So can we have a mover and a seconder to put it on the floor? Moved by Councillor Martin, seconded by Linda. Any discussion? Were there any errors or omissions in the minutes? Not seeing any. All right, we'll call the vote. All those in favor? Motion carries. We have no resolutions, no notices of motions. We are adjourned. Taylor, go ahead.
Sorry, guys, super quick question. I did receive the link to all of the SPAC videos that were made in previous years. I'm just wondering when those are being released.
Yeah, well, we're gonna work with our communications to start getting those out. One of the suggestions is putting them on the screen here. So we just finalized the communications campaign internally with our Cyber Chain Communications. The plan is to start, I believe, Rebecca, in July. So we'll be getting
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, now we're adjourned.
Thank you.